Hello and welcome to the next episode of my advanced blueprint tutorials. In this episode we will be creating a new Paragon based character. In this episode we'll set up a completely new character, which is a new blueprint. We'll set up new animation blueprint, and that will not be just a redo of the one that we already have working. We'll set up new animation variations for this character specifically. We will be working a lot with the components that are downloadable through this tutorial repository. We will also make a very simple combat system and a very simple skill system, like the one that the Paragon character normally had while Paragon was still alive. And I will not be this time showcasing things that I already prepared, and I am just explaining how they are being done. I will do them live so you see my workflow and actually all the errors that I will do during this process. And also thanks to that we'll be able to measure the time that it takes to set up a new character with new animations. What we are not going to do today is we are not going to retarget animations. We could just take the entire animation blueprint that we have already and retarget to the Paragon character, but instead we'll set up a completely new one that is for this Paragon character only. And we will not redo stuff that's already done in the previous tutorials, and we will copy code that is working and tested from before. So let's jump in. Here I already filtered my vault by Paragon assets that I added to my vault. I haven't added all of them because there's a lot more usually. And we need to pick the character we'll be working with today, and I will pick Countess because from all the really cool chicks in Paragon that I really like, I'm just drawn to dangerous women, and this is my perfect waifu material. She's just trouble, and she's, yeah. Let's use her. So we're adding this, and we will skip this part obviously. And here we are back. I just entered from the content folder Paragon Countess, character, maps, and opened the Countess map. And yeah, let's wait for the shaders to compile and we can continue. And we're back, all the shaders are compiled, and this is what we are working with today. And we'll take, for example, maybe this golden version. She got a hostel in the back, she got 2 weapons and a very distinguished features that will be great for showcasing the IK system. And let's see, skeletal mesh. Okay, so this is the skeletal mesh, but not the skeleton itself. If you want to get the skeleton, we go here, and let's see how she is set up. Show. Oh yeah, bones. Show all. Okay, so she got a proper IK setup, as I see. Okay, and she got extra bones for the weapons, I guess. And there are trail sockets, that's gonna be easy as well. And weapon L is, yeah, it's on hand L. And same goes for weapon R probably. Yeah. Trail. Okay. And also the swords have what we called dangly bits. So extra small features that are actually a part of the skeleton that can be used to just dynamically animate through the IK system, and that will be a separate tutorial. But if you look, she got a lot of really cool small features, like for example those here flops. You can move them, they are skinned, so that means we will be able to apply some IK to them. And I know that she got her hair set up as cloth, and she got actually full facial setup for animations, so that's cool. And this. What is this? Ah, okay, clever guys. Like this is what I would expect from the mannequin itself, that the legs IK, it's rooted where the root of the character is, because if you are doing a twist of the hips, a twist of the character, leaning on, leaning when running, you want to make foot adjustment based on the root. But when it comes down to hands, when you are blending poses together, actually a solution where either the head or the third spine or the second spine is the actual parent to the IK, that would be a lot better. So okay, okay, so it just goes from this point. That will be, wow, a lot better for blending animations together. And the hostel itself, it's also animated, as I can see. It's probably using the animations. So the setup of the character itself is absolutely superb, and I love it. There are some additional bones that are not being used in this particular model, but they are part of the skeleton. As all countess models, they all share the same skeleton. And okay, there are also some morphs. Yeah, we're not going to play with that. Okay, countess gilded. Let's jump into it. So let's get into AGR examples. Let's go to maps and let's make a new level. A new level will be called Paragon test map. And before we jump into this level, we need some lighting. That will take from here and sky sphere and sphere reflection, and I think that's it. Yeah, copy that, then open the new level. Yeah, save everything, just click on the level, paste it, there we go. Let's add oh, you know what, let's just make a landscape and any mesh, that would be a good reference. Let's scale it to 20 by 20. That's our floor. Okay, and let's make a player start somewhere around here. There we go. And we're good to go. Okay, so we got a level now. Save it, actually even build it. That should take just a moment. Okay, yeah, it's built. Okay, and now examples, blueprints. Yeah, examples, gameplay, and here we'll make Paragon. Inside Paragon, we're going to make, no, not a folder. We're going to make a new blueprint, which is a game mode. Paragon game mode. We also need a controller, which is a player controller, and call it Paragon PC. And we need, what else do we need? Oh yeah, obviously the character. And this will be BP Paragon countess example. Okay. Saving everything. And now let's set it up. Paragon and default pawn is oh, let's actually check this one because there's already a made one. Boom. And let's make this lowercase, and I made the same mistake here. Okay, and let's take a look at what they actually did here. And we have an animation test map. Let's see this animation test map. The setup of this map is also not so bad. So let's just hit, well, no, it's definitely not working on multiplayer, just play here. Okay. So she is using an aim offset, but only up to 90 degrees. She got a stop animation and she's leaning. Okay, that's actually not bad. Okay, for directional walking we will actually use this animation. And she got some simple attacks. But if I hold the button, nothing happens. Okay. Let's go back to our map. I prefer the word grid material. And if we have the same character set up here, we'll have her here, and she's working as set up by Epic Games. Okay, so let's now swap this Paragon character to our BP Paragon countess example. Let's open it up. And it's absolutely empty. And let's go back to gameplay and we'll copy from, well, actually all of our previous blueprints. We'll copy some of the functionalities. From this one as well, I suppose. Okay, first of all we need to set up the mesh, and this will be countess gilded. It's a -88 because this is the capsule half height. So from the actual 0 of this character, the actual root, it goes 88 up and 88 down. And now we need to set her up properly. Front, okay. Compile, save, add the components that we need. So we definitely need the AGR animation master component, save, and let's go to the event graph. It's empty, cool. Let's make a new one, call it inputs. And into the inputs we'll just go to any of our event graphs, and we just copy, well, we don't need this, we'll just copy this, jump, okay, copy, paste. Okay, what were the default values for those? This was 45, this was 45. For me that's actually a bit too high. I will set it to 30. I don't like too high sensitivity. Okay, and let's see if our character is spawning and moving. Yes, but she doesn't have a camera yet, so let's go back to our Paragon countess viewport. Let's add a spring arm, and let's just move it a bit, or even not. Let's leave it as it was. Let's add a camera to that spring arm. We'll call it third person camera, and this spring arm will have a length of, let's say, 200, and socket offset Z 30 and Y at 25. Let's see how it looks like, or even 45. Okay, and our debug is true for this. Okay, and let's see again. So, okay, she's taking the inputs. However, there's something wrong with the mouse input. Let's get back here. Inputs. Oh yeah, okay. First of all, no. Second of all, yes. Okay. Okay. Let's see now. Okay. So she's not turning at all, and we are turning the camera around her. And this works. Okay, awesome. So now this girl needs some animations. And she needs some events. So on begin play, we'll make a custom event. And we'll make the custom event, for example, switch base pose. And this base pose will have an input of string or even name. Okay, and we'll make a default, and no, we'll not allow default, we'll allow neutral pose. And on neutral pose we are taking the component and then we're doing some stuff, and this stuff will be setup base pose. We'll have to do a setup turn rotation and setup aim offset. Okay. Now, if we try to do something now, it will not work because we need to prepare, first of all, the gameplay tags. So let's go here, let's go to data, let's go into this, and let's duplicate base, and let's call it animation base countess. Or you know what? We actually don't need new tags. No, we don't need new tags. We can use the tags that we already have, and there's nothing wrong about it. So what we do need, however, is an animation graph. So go into blueprints, into the examples, and we go blueprints, and we go into AnimBP, and we're going to make a new animation graph. So we go to animation blueprint, it's just anim instance, and then we're taking the countess. Okay, and we call it countess core AnimBP. Okay, and we open that, and we open one more. We have to go back to AGR, blueprints, and AGR core AnimBP. We go into event graph, and we copy all this. Just copy it, go here, event graph, delete, paste, and compile. And it will give a lot of errors now. And for every of those errors, we just create variable. Okay, so let's just copy one by one, because for some reason this absolutely broken while copying. So let's do just this and paste just this. And will it? Yeah. Let's try something different in this way. So maybe we go here, and we after all do a retarget and a not, and no, countess, and don't change anything, change just the folder, blueprints here, and countess. Okay, retarget. Okay, let's see if it worked. AnimBP countess. Let's see. Okay, this compiles just right. And here. Yeah, it looks like all the naming convention of all the bones is correct, so it actually retarget as we wanted. So this one is fine. And this one, let's take a look. Oh, okay. If we go into anim graph, how does this one look like? This is the idle pose. This is idle relaxed. Okay. Okay, I kind of like this idle straight, so let's use this one here. And this one here will be maybe this one. Oh no, this is terrible. Let's see, I'll jump. Okay, for jumping we should do something a lot better than this, but for now let's just do this with play rate 0, 1, and this will be fine, and this actually saved. Okay, and I am back, and here it's actually trying to just play the same animations that they will just not work. So we go here into this conduit, we delete all the states, and same goes for the overlay except for the empty one. All those are being deleted. Okay, and let's actually make a new state, because if we play right now, all the character will do is, well, basically nothing. It will not play animations. Let's go back into examples, maps. Okay, and let's just play here. Should play this animation. And oh yeah, we didn't switch the character. And now we have, and she's not playing any animations, but we can, for example, make her do stuff now. So we go to the class, open it, and now on switch base pose to neutral pose, we'll go with base pose stack of third person. Well, we can obviously make a new tag that would be proper, and we'll make that in a second. And we'll go into the turn rotation at angle. Let's make the start angle 90, tolerance 5, and speed 280. And the last one is setup aim offset, and we'll make look at speed is 6, it's fine, aim offset clamp 135, and it is camera based. Okay, so now if we on begin play do an event, how do I call it? Switch base pose. And we'll go with neutral pose. We hit play, and now she is properly turning when hitting certain angles, and when running she is trying to keep up with our rotation, but her aim offset is not working for some reason. Let's take a look on why. And if we do this, she's still not looking up and down. Strange. Okay, we'll come back to this in a second, but let's go here and let's set up the first base pose, and let's make a state. Well, I'm not conduit state. This state will be called third person, for example, and we can enter this state if our base pose is equal base third person, and if it is not equal, not, then we can go back, and in this pose we'll have just the anim graph that we already have shipped with countess character. So linked anim graph, and we'll go with countess animation blueprint, and we'll expose everything we can. And let's see, falling in air, offset, well, no, not this one, multi-aim offset, get, split. So X is pitch and Y is yaw. Rotation last tick, this one don't need to be exposed. Acceleration higher than 0, then it is accelerating. The character is the okay, let's ignore the rest and see what will happen. And we will go here and set up the base third person, yeah. So now Shift F1, let's get here. Animation base, and this is nothing. That's interesting. Why is that? It's not saving the tags. And if I do a small delay, let's say, oh, not even a small one, let's say 2 seconds. We play. Countess. Why this tag is nothing? Event graph. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. Yeah, how about we actually set up the animation blueprint? Oh my god. Yeah, of course the aim offset works and everything works. And I don't even have to do this delay, most likely. All I have to do is just third person and decide rotate angle. And let's see. Okay, she's looking up, down. Oh no, she got a different bone setup. That's interesting. So she's just... What is she doing? I'm pretty sure that the aim offset, all of the nodes, they are component space, yeah. Okay, I think we'll have to set up our own state first to actually see any examples that are working. So let's go here, blueprints, AnimBP, countess, and let's make our first animation blueprint for the countess, yes, and let's call it base walking countess AnimBP. Okay, and base walking countess will actually copy from one of the AGR examples, blueprints and AnimBP, and we'll take, let's say, mockup basic. We'll copy everything. And now idle, and we don't need crouching at all at this point. Standing idle is the safe pose idle, and moving, and we need a new blend space, and because of how those animations are set up, we'll need a blend space 1D. So we'll make this blend space where it belongs. So with heroes, countess, and animations, blend spaces. Let's see if she's got one that is useful or not. Oh, this may be useful. Okay, so this is the angle probably. How is it called? Rotation speed. Oh, okay, that's a nice loop. We'll use that. But no, she doesn't have one that we might actually use because all those are slope running. So let's just make a new one, and it will be animation blend space 1D. It will be 1D because she doesn't have walk and run animations. All Paragon characters were using speed morphing, so they all have just one jog animation. Let's call it countess unarmed BS1D. Okay, and direction is minus 180, 180. 4, this is now 0, blend weight, let's say 4. There's no scaling needed. Okay, let's now look at the animations that we have here. Okay, forward. Oh my god, there's so much. Okay, so this is nice. Combat. Okay, so start, stops, pivots. Oh, those are nice. We could use them as overlays. Very nice. but there's nothing else we could do, so just use this one. Where's our animation? Oh my god. Countess animation spaces countess. Okay. Jog forward, jog left, jog backward, jog right. And in all of those, she's holding the weapons in the same way, so they are from the same group. Okay, so this is pretty much set up, and what's the speed of this? Let's see. Base working countess. Okay, so we will go with countess unarmed. That's bad name. We'll change it in a second. Countess jog. That's better to the animations that we have. I was pretty sure that she has an animation of an arm, but this is I don't know. We'll try to find one. And let's expose the play rate, and the play rate will be the create variable, create variable, already a variable. Okay, yeah, compile. Forward velocity by, I think this will be like this jog. What could it be? 300? And the direction will be direction. Okay. So we got this set up. And yeah, this character can crouch should be false because this character cannot crouch. Let's save. And now let's go into the main graph. And let's go into anim graph, base pose. Yeah, this one. Okay, forward velocity is crouching not, so this is standing, and the direction is the direction. That's it. Okay, save. Let's take a look how it looks now. So the aim offset is working. She doesn't have turn in place yet, but we'll set it up in a moment. And what's wrong with the animations? Oh god. Okay, let's go here. Idle is idle. Boom, boom. Okay, it wasn't 300 for sure. Or we will actually just decrease the speed of this character. So walk speed will be 300. And now she'll be playing, she'll have a play rate of her animations. Oh, okay, yeah, that shouldn't be... not forward velocity, this should be velocity, so we'll just change it. Okay. And on the main graph, we also have to change something. And instead of taking the forward velocity, we will take just the velocity. And we need it exposed. Okay. Where are you? Velocity. Yeah, we don't want just the forward velocity, we want the actual character velocity. And now the animations blend well. The character is using our aim offset. So she's doing a K aim. And she's doing turn in place only when we need it. Okay. And we've seen this really cool turn in place setup that was already done, so let's check it out. Add state, turn in place. And now we will need lean, which will be a float. And we'll copy the turn in place from one of the examples that has it set up. So let's see. Overlay base anims. I don't know if this one had a setup, or maybe we haven't done a setup. No, we haven't done a setup. Ah, okay. So why not? So you can go into turn in place if your lean value is and lean absolute value is above or equal 0.01 degree. Okay, and you go back if it is smaller than 0.1 degree. So you haven't been turning at this point. And turn, player turn in place, rotation speed. Okay, rotation speed 180. And let's see if it even works. Oh, and we still have to go here, expose lean and add lean. Yeah, now I hit it. And let's see. Wow, that actually looks pretty good. Let's make few small adjustments, like this is 0.2. Okay, all of this it must be initialization. Thank you. And here, if idle not goes straight into moving, and this one is also inertialization. And then we go here and we have inertialization. So let's see now how this turn works with inertialization. A bit better. Okay, but we need to actually read this turn speed from something so it works properly. So this is 180 if it is 180, but what we actually need to read is we need to get okay, we need a variable which is called character movement component reference, and this is a character movement component object reference. Okay. Oh, and everything is at the table. And now we go into the core countess and we expose this as well, and we actually have it ready. We have it under components, character movement component. We just push it forward, and this anim graph on event, it will also take, oh no, not this one, this one on event graph on tick. It will take this reference and it will get rotation, how is it called? Rotation rate. It will split it and take Z, and then it's going to promote to variable and call it rotation speed. And that's it. And here we'll use rotation speed. And now that we know that 180 is for some reason a sweet spot, we'll set it to 180 and see. Okay, but we also need to go here and change the rotation speed here to 180. rotation speed. Yeah, and here we need to actually update our core thing, because on replication of rotation speed we need to get character reference, get movement component, but not pound movement. We need to get character movement component. How is it called? Character movement, just like this. Get character movement, and from here we need to set rotation rate. Yeah, that's how it's called. Rotation rate, yeah. And we need to set this rotation speed, and we'll split this and we'll get it here, because even though we did set it with this node, it didn't really update, and I haven't noticed that it's actually happening like that. On rep rotation, and okay, it can't be called, it has to be called like this, no problem. So let's not now change it back to 360 and see if it properly updates to 180 by event. Yeah, it did. Finally. Just as we wanted. Okay, but now we have to also check. Oh, let's see what's this. This breaks. This breaks because it actually all animations, they tick before begin play, so they tick before the reference can be set, and then there is another tick that before this will be pushed from our main graph here. This actually triggers once on tick before begin play, then ticks again on begin play on first frame, and only on the second frame it actually gets it. So let's get valid check. And this way we will not see anything, and is valid is just a very simple node that is checking if a reference is empty, and that's it. And if it's so it's not like cast, cast 2 that actually costs a lot, because it requires to load type of object into memory and compare those objects by their signature. But checking valid is just checking if we have an empty reference. That's the only thing it's doing. Okay, let's go here, and we want to do one more thing. Play rate. Select, and the option will be if lean is greater than 0, so it's positive value. If it's true, the play rate is 1. If it's false, the play rate is -1. So that should play as it did forward. And now it plays backwards this side. Okay, last thing I would change is that this 0.2, it's too small. Let's make it 0.3, and let's make this also 0.35 even. So let's do this, and then we go, and then we turn, and we're turning, and everything is working as should. So now this character is acting as we wanted. It's not bad. And she got proper turns in place. So this is not the usual how I would set up turn in place, but because I had animations that are ready, there is no need to set up anything else, and there might be like a small foot sliding, but honestly, if it was set up for a rotation speed of 180, then I believe that 180 should be the right value for it to work properly. So yeah, this is just a basic setup of one pose, and we'll take a short break after this one. Okay, to sum up the first part of this tutorial, what we got here, I loaded the third person map, just changed the game mode to our Paragon game mode. This is the animation graph, the entire animation graph of our countess. And when we look at the core graph, we just got one overlay called the third person, which is the standard one. We haven't done any new tags, we haven't done any overlays, we just copied everything and saved it. And the character itself just got begin play, setting a pose, and it's just setting pose based on our component and just pushing forward 3 variables, saving, we can play, we have our countess, she is turning in place properly, moving directionally as should, and turning towards the camera slowly. Yeah, and everything works as intended. Let's test it on multiplayer. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work even on dedicated server. So let's move this. Okay. So my aim offset is working properly. Turn in place, looking good. Animation blend fine and jumping fine. So everything works on multiplayer out of the box, and yeah. Even the turns. Okay, so yeah, that's the cut for the part 1. In the next part we'll set up melee attacks, and we'll set up simple abilities that will be copies of the abilities of this Paragon character. But to do so, we will have to make some overlay poses for the character, and that I will also set up on screen. See you in the next episode.